Hey everyone, welcome to the monthly compilation series. So here we'll be discussing about all the finance current affairs related to November 2025 and that too in a MCQ manner. Okay, so let's start the discussion. The very first question for today is, which unified framework is built jointly by MOSPI and IICA? So recently they have built a unified framework for pushing a unified sustainability through the interlinked collaboration, right? In the partnership, they both have built a framework. So which is the one unified framework, guys? The correct choice here is SDG, ESG and CSR, right? So SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals, ESG stands for Environmental, Social and Governance, and CSR stands for Corporate Social Responsibility, right? Next one is regarding the RBI and the NIPL. They have been engaging with the European Central Bank to interlink UPI with which of the following payment system? With which of the following payment system they want to integrate the UPI? Any idea about this one, guys? Again, a very simple one with TIPS, right? And the full form is target instant payment settlement, right? Target instant payment settlement, TIPS. So this is going to be an important news, so please do remember this one. Now next one is the article Making the Horizon Meet. Describes an integrated forecasting system that combines the nowcast, machine learning model and statistical techniques. What are the key advantages of the proposed inflation forecasting framework? The new advantage of the framework, inflation forecasting framework, is it is going to improve the near term accuracy while covering the benchmark forecast over the period of time, right? Next one, which of the following is a definition feature, which of the following is a defining feature of the MCT inflation? So in that article MCT inflation के बारे में भी बात हुई थी. So which of the following is the defining feature of the MCT inflation measure as discussed in the bulletin? This is directly from the RBI bulletin. The defining feature of MCT inflation is it tracks trend inflation common across sectors. So it is tracking the trend of the inflation across different sectors. Next one, this is regarding the Q2 data of financial year 2026. Can you guys tell me the year-on-year sales growth of the listed private non-financial companies as per the RBI recently published data? The correct choice here will be option D, 8%, right? 8% is the correct choice. This is from the performance of the private corporate business sector. Q2 of financial year 2026, 8% is the sales growth का data, right? Highest किसका था? Services, non-IT, then उसके बाद manufacturing and then IT. अच्छा, tell me this one. What is the name of the agency SEBI has announced to verify the performance data of IAs and RAs? Can be important for your examination, can be important. And the correct choice, guys, here will be option B. Option B is the correct choice. This is the portal which stands for Past Risk and Return Verification Agency. This is an agency which will be verifying the performance data of the IAs and RAs. Next one. Until the Past Risk and Return Verification Agency become functional, SEBI has allowed interim performance disclosure under certain conditions. Now these disclosures must be certified by an authorized professional. Can you guys tell me who is allowed to certify the past performance data before this portal becomes operational, before this agency becomes operational? it is none other than the practicing chartered accountants and cost accountants. They are eligible. Okay, practicing CAs and CS, practicing CAs, chartered accountants and cost accountants, right? They are permitted to verify the data till this agency becomes operational, right? So this can be definitely important. Please do remember the full form as well as who can certify the data before this agency becomes operational, right? Acha, tell me the next one. The QSBs, qualified stock brokers, now need to implement necessary system and processes for the operational T+0 settlement as per the revised SEBI circular. Can you guys tell me which is the date by which the QSBs now need to implement the necessary system? Which is the revised date? And the correct choice here will be from 1st of November 2025, right? From 1st of November 2025. Acha, tell me which company has recently received in principle approval from the IFSCA to operate as a payment service provider at the GIFT IFSCA. Payment service provider at the GIFT IFSCA. The correct choice here is Infibeam Avenues Limited, right? Option C is the correct choice. Next one. In a bid to promote environmental responsible lending to small and medium enterprises, a leading private sector bank in India has secured a significant funding commitment, that too from the IFC. This $50 million funding aims to boost the green financing initiative targeted at MSMEs. Important. Can you guys tell me the name of the bank that has entered into an agreement with IFC for MSME green financing? For MSME green financing. The name of the bank is City Union Bank, right? City Union Bank is the correct choice. Next one. The RBI Forex derivative exposure reflected a sharp shift. What was the approximate value of the RBI's net short dollar forward position in September 2025? This is the data of September 2025, which was published in November. And the correct choice here will be, guys, option C, 59.4 billion USD is the correct choice, right? Next one. Which entity has partnered with Google LLC to expand the access to AI in India? Which entity has partnered with Google LLC to expand the access to AI in India? So the name of the entity was Reliance Industries Limited, option C. Next one. Which bank became a special category client of the IIBX and completed the first gold trade under this status? So what is this SCC, special category client status? Recently a bank acquired this special category client status. The name of the bank is State Bank of India, right? State Bank of India has joined the IIBX, which is India's International Bullion Exchange IFSC Limited, as a special category client. Next one. Tell me which two countries together accounted for over 1/3 of the India's total inward FDI in financial year 2025 as per the RBI's FLA census. So as per the RBI FLA census, USA and Singapore accounted for over 1/3 of the India's total inward FDI. Next one. NPCI Limited the international arm of NPCI. Basically, this is NPCI International Payment Limited, which is an international arm of NPCI, has taken a step to expand the UPI globally. It has partnered with which prominent fintech entity operating in the Southeast Asia to facilitate the cross-border digital payment. As a result, UPI transaction will now be enabled in which country? Here the correct choice is Malaysia, right? Malaysia is the recent country with which UPI का expansion again is going on. Next one. Acha, tell me, in a move to expand the pension coverage retrospectively, the EPFO has launched new initiatives. Under which initiative EPFO has opened this voluntary mechanism which allows the employers to register the worker who were missed in earlier periods without facing any kind of penalty or delay? And the correct choice is voluntary window for past coverage, right? That's the name. Acha, what is the period over which period the EPFO employees enrollment scheme is operational? What is the period here? And the period here is option B, from 1st of November 2025 to 30th April 2026. This is the operational period of this scheme. Tell me, OpenAI has partnered with which entity to embed the payment functionality within the ChatGPT itself? So now a payment functionality will be available in the ChatGPT itself, and they have partnered with PayPal, right? They have partnered with PayPal for this functionality. SEBI has introduced a provision allowing IAS to give second opinion on the asset under advisory. This is a fee-based service and regulated, and it's a regulated one, right? Which of the following best describes the maximum annual fees SEBI has allowed to the investment advisors to charge for providing a second opinion? Say for example, some client is already taking a service from you. I am also giving him advisory as a second advisor. So how much annual fees I can charge? Maximum up to 2.5% per annum. Right, maximum up to 2.5% per annum. Next one. The CGA recently reported on India's fiscal deficit. The data reveals centre's deficit figure for the first 6 months of financial year 2026. India's fiscal deficit during April to September 2026 stood at what level as per the recent CGA data? It stood at 5.73 lakh crore. Okay, option B, 5.73 lakh crore is the correct choice. Which type of cross-border payment is the RBI proposing same-day credit for? This is just to improve the speed of cross-border transactions. Okay, this is for the settlement speed, improving the settlement speed of the cross-border transactions. That's cross-border inward payment, right? This is for the cross-border inward payment. This is regarding the same day credit. Next one. Household borrowing trends in India have shown a significant increase in the recent year. Can you tell me the recent RBI data? What is the annual addition to the household financial liabilities? What was the amount of annual addition to the household financial liabilities in 2025? In financial year 2025. And the correct choice here is 15.7 lakh crore. Okay, 15.7 lakh crore. Next one. Which state received over 444 crores, 444 crores under the 15th Finance Commission Rural Grants? The name of the state was option D, Odisha. Okay. Next one. What was the name of the new award launched by SBI to recognize the employee excellence recently beyond the professional spheres? The name was SBI Star. Okay. The name of the program was SBI Stars. Indian Post Payment Bank have launched a new initiative to make the life certification process easier for pensioners. This will be a doorstep service, right, for the pensioners, so that they can generate and submit their life certificates digitally without leaving their home. Can you tell me which is the organization with which Indian Post Payment Bank has launched this service? Pensioners of which organization? So the pensioners of EPFO will now be getting door-to-door digital life certificate service. This is for the EPFO pensioners, right? So EPFO, and you need to know about this EPFO scheme as well, which we have already discussed. Next one. As part of the diversification strategy, OpenAI has signed a multi-year deal with which of the cloud service provider? This was a $38 billion deal. So the correct answer here is AWS, Amazon Web Service, right? Acha, also tell me the total transaction value registered in UPI in the month of October 2025 as per the NPCI data. This is the total transaction value, right? Not volume. The correct choice is 27.28 lakh crore. Okay, 27.28 lakh crore, option D. Next one. ADB has extended financial assistance for clean energy initiatives in the Indian agriculture. The focus is on solarizing of irrigation infrastructure. The ADB approved 460 million USD financing for agriculture solarization. In which Indian state? The name of the state was Maharashtra, right? The name of the state was Maharashtra. In order to streamline the Provident Fund remittances and enhance the operational efficiency, EPFO has partnered with a bank to improve the remittance experience for the employers and the employees. Which bank has partnershiped with the EPFO? They have tied up with EPFO for this particular initiative. Was it City Union Bank, Axis Bank, Indian, Canara Bank, IDFC First Bank? Which is the one? Here the correct choice is option A, City Union Bank. Okay, City Union Bank. Next one. In a major boost to the renewable energy sector, the Renew Energy Global has secured a funding from ADB. This is regarding which state? Which state is this renewable energy project being developed in? Now this energy project is being developed in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, option D is the correct choice, Andhra Pradesh. Next one. Now this is regarding the SEBI redesigning of the materiality threshold for the related party transaction. For the medium-sized companies with substantial but not large consolidated turnover, a new framework has been prescribed. So what is the fixed component of the threshold for turnover between 20,000 crore and 40,000 crore? And here the correct choice, guys, is Option D, 2000 crore. Okay, we have covered this one from the SEBI circular, can be important. Okay, next one. Where is the proposed center of excellence for financial audit being established? It's going to be established in Hyderabad. Option B. Next one. The revised base year for GDP. So we all know that the revised base year for GDP is financial year 2023. So 2022-2023 is the revised base year for GDP. Which organization has signed a pact under the UAE India CEPA Council for promoting the global expansion of innovative startups? And the name of the organization here is Hub 71, right? Hub 71 is the one. And ICI for October 2025, the index of 8 core industries for the October 2025 was option C, 162.4, right? 162.4 was the number. Which organization has IDFC Bank partnered for the purpose of enhancing the competency standards and promoting the ethical financial planning practice among professionals? Now guys, this is a global certification organization which is none other than option E, FPSB India. Okay, FPSB India. Next one. What was the headline inflation as recorded in October 2025 year on year basis? So the headline inflation, which is our CPI inflation, was 0.25%, right? 0.25%. Which PSU has entered into an MOU with the NMDC Energy to explore oil and gas projects in Saudi Arabia? It was the Engineers India Limited. Engineers India Limited was the entity. A small finance bank has launched a new proposition called M Circle, aimed at catering the financial needs of women customer. Which bank has launched this women centric proposition? The bank which has done this, the bank which is involved in this particular new product is AU Small Finance Bank, right? AU Small Finance Bank. Next one. Which global company has been added to the India's Deep Tech Alliance in a strategic role? So it's none other than NVIDIA, right? We have covered this one as well in the Finance Current Affairs session. NVIDIA is the entity. Which of the following best describe the third line of defense? Now this is from a speech. I think it was from a speech of Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India. This is not a finance current affairs question, still it can be an important one. This is a static finance question. The correct choice here is that's internal audit, providing an independent evaluation of controls and governance. That's the third line of defense, right? That's the third line of defense. And according to the 3 line of defense model, which layer is primarily responsible for owning risk within the institution? Which is the layer which is primary responsibility, having the primary responsibility for owning the risk within an institution? That's the first line of defense, business unit conducting day-to-day activities. So they are responsible for owning the risk within an organization, right? So this was from the speech of the Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India. We have discussed about the 3 lines of defense, right? Next one, the urban cooperative banks, which historically lag in the digital capabilities, are now being supported through a new shared platform aimed at improving the payment and loan processing efficiency. Now this can be important for your exam. These initiatives reduce the cost and improve the competitiveness. What are the name of the platform of these platform? The correct choice here is option E, DigiPay and DigiLoan, right? So this can be definitely important for your examination. So we have covered this in this particular news. Digital Trust for the UCBs. The NUCFDC launches DigiPay and DigiLoan for the efficiency, for increasing the efficiency, right? Next one. What percentage of the budget estimate was utilized as capital expenditure by September 2025? This is during the first half year of financial year 2026. So approximately 52% was utilized, right, by September 2025. Acha, tell me this one. What is the approximate deposit balance in PMJDY accounts as of October 2025? As of October 2025. Here the correct choice is option D, 2.75 lakh crore. Okay, 2.75 lakh crore is the correct choice. Next one, SEBI recently issued a caution regarding certain project being sold via digital platforms, stating that they fall outside the regulatory framework, and we all know that SEBI has warned the investor and they have advised to take a cautious approach investing in digital golds, because so many fintech apps are outside the scope of SEBI here in terms of investing in digital gold, right? As part of EPFO's recent initiative to improve the settlement timeline, what is the new settlement timeline introduced by EPF remittances, for the EPF remittances? The new settlement timeline here is T plus 1 day, right? T plus 1 day is the correct choice. Next one. A large umbrella mission was recently approved to strengthen India's export ecosystem through financial support, compliance assistance, branding and logistics improvement. The mission has been allocated a sizable outlay over 6-year period. What is the total approved outlay here? What is the total approved outlay here? The total approved outlay here is 25,060 crore, right? This is regarding the export promotion mission approved by the Union Cabinet. Acha, can you tell me which foreign partner is involved in the agreement with India? The NPCI has signed a pact with a Bahrain-based entity to enable the cross-border remittances. The correct choice here will be option B, benefit, right? Option B is the correct choice here. Next one. The Labour Ministry launched a multilingual mobile app designed to connect the job seekers from the unorganized sector with potential employers. What is the name of this app? What is the name of this application? The name of this application is Digital Labor Chalk, right? This can also be important. This can also be definitely important. Next one. Which global body has partnered with Axis Max Life Insurance for this particular initiative? What is the initiative? Promoting the inclusive life insurance access for the underserved community. So, International Finance Corporation has partnered with Max Life Insurance. With the rapid investor confidence and consistent growth in the share price, one of the India's major banks have now entered into the elite club of companies with over $100 billion market capitalization. Which Indian bank has recently achieved this valuation milestone? The name of the Indian bank, guys, here is State Bank of India, right? Recently they have crossed the $100 billion mark in terms of market capitalization. And if we talk about the food inflation rate for October 2025 month, I'm talking about the recently released data of October 2025 month. In the November month, it was minus 5.02%. So it's under the deflationary territory as of now, right? As financial system expand and integrate, the organization often face challenges in keeping the governance aligned with involving risk. Boards may continue updating the charts and processes and rules and reporting lines, yet the key issue persists unless deeper questions are answered. The Deputy Governor emphasized here the need to shift the focus towards the foundational governance behavior rather than just the procedural fixes. Can you tell me what is identified as the root factor from the speech recently given by the Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India? This is again from a speech. The frequency of internal audit, strong governance intent, embedded in the decision making, adoption of red tech, regulatory technology basically, and automated controls, restructuring committees and redefining the reporting lines, or increased compliance expenditure. The correct choice here is strong governance intent embedded in the decision making, option B. Next one. The banks have historically been the only entities that authenticate the payment leg for financial transaction, but new technologies could change this foundational role. Which statement best explain how the blockchain challenges the traditional role of the banks? They can easily replace the bank authenticating the transaction without a trusted intermediary, right? Acha, this is regarding the recognition of self-regulatory organization for the payment system operator. So self-regulated PSO association is the one, the SRO for the payment system operator. Important for your examination, okay? Important for your examination. Now we have also covered the financial sector assessment program. We all know that it's a joint effort of IMF and the World Bank, right? And they release a report regarding the financial sector stability, regulations and resilience. Then guys, the next one is, what are the name of the two components newly approved export mission will function through two complementary sub schemes? So what are the name of these two schemes? One is completely financial incentive based and other one is non-financial assistance. This is for capacity building, for quality support, and this can be important for your examination again, right? This can be important for your examination. important for your examination. The name of these schemes are option E, Niryat Protsahan and Niryat Disha. Okay. Next one. What is the name of the platform which is launched by government? A comprehensive digital platform providing integrated access to advanced trade database, dashboards and analytical tools to support exporters, importers and policymakers. Again important. Again important. The correct choice here will be option C, Trade Intelligence and Analytics Portal. Acha, next one, newly launched analytical trade portal. जो नया analytical trade portal है वो किसने launch किया है? तो that is launched by Department of Commerce, right? That is launched by Department of Commerce. Acha, tell me this one. There was a change which is aimed to align the export rules with the real commercial constraints that we are recently facing. What is the revised period allowed for shipment from the date of receiving the advance? Again, this is a part of trade relief which was recently announced. This was a part of trade relief which was recently announced, right? And the correct choice here is 3 years, right? 3 years. So from 1 year, they have moved it to 3 years. Then what is the moratorium applies to dues falling between which period? So as of now, because of the trade relief, what is the moratorium period that they have given? So the moratorium period is between 1st of September to 31st of December 2025. And what is the revised time period permitted for realization and repatriation of the export proceeds? Realization and repatriation of the export proceeds. Let's suppose you have sold some goods to some external party overseas. Now within how much time, within how many months you need to realize and repatriate the export proceeds back to India? So that's 15 months now, right? That's 15 months now. So they have extended the time limit in the trade relief measures. Can be important for your examination. Please do it very well. There is a specific video as well on trade relief measures, right? Next one. A major international conference on the central bank accounting was recently organized, bringing together the practitioners from multiple countries. The event focused on themes like transparency, risk management and accounting diversity across monetary authority. Which entity has partnered with Reserve Bank of India for this particular conference? Important. Here the correct choice is option B. Option B is the correct choice here, right? And this also concept we have studied, and this is also important, which is conservatism, also called as prudence, right? We never overstate profits and asset, but we always try to estimate the future losses and expenses, right? Prudence. Next one. To support India's startup ecosystem, the government has launched a unified application process allowing the founders to seek credit through public sector banks using a single digit interface. This initiative integrates multiple datasets to reduce the paperwork and improve the processing. Which portal has this system been launched? Important. The name of the portal here is Jan Samarth portal. Okay, Jan Samarth portal. Next one. A leading digital payment company has announced collaboration to embed the conversational AI across apps used by consumers and merchants. The move will allow users to receive personalized assistance, conduct comparison and perform tasks without switching platforms. Which firm has made this announcement? It was none other than your PhonePe, right? It was your PhonePe. The government recently approved a major credit guarantee scheme to support exporter finance. Important. How much corpus they have been estimated as necessary for the scheme? This is important. The corpus which they feel is necessary is 2000 crore. Okay, 2000 crore. And what is the extension which is offering a breathing space to the exporter? Dealing with deferred orders. What is the new extended time limit? So again, this is a part of the trade relief measures which are announced by Reserve Bank of India. This is a part of trade relief measures. That's 450 days, right? That's 450 days. Acha, what is the full form of IFRS? So that's International Financial Reporting Standards, not a part of your dynamic finance. It's a part of your static finance. What is the name of the reserve created by Reserve Bank of India to meet the unforeseen contingencies? This is also static finance, which is contingency fund. They create contingency fund, right? Tell me this one. Under the newly approved export guarantee structure, lending institution will receive full guarantee coverage for the additional credit extended to eligible exporter. What is the sanction limit here? The sanction limit here is 20,000 crore, right? 20,000 crore. So 2,000 crore का approximate allocation यहाँ पे जाने वाला और additional credit facility about 20,000 crore to eligible exporters, right? Internal reserve maintained by the monetary authorities of different countries, just like RBI, which focuses on strengthening the infrastructure, technology and long-term capital expenditure. This reserve is again created out of realized profit, and this supports the development needs of the central bank, which is none other than your asset development fund, right? Asset development fund. WPI inflation for October month, we have discussed, this was negative 1.21%, right? अच्छा, ट्रेड बैलेंस अभी ये डेफिसिट एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम का है, सो मैं इग्नोर कर रहा हूँ, आप लेटेस्ट डेटा पढ़ सकते हो. Which organization have signed MOU to boost participation of women entrepreneurs in public procurement? Very important question. None other than your Governance e-Marketplace and UN Women. Option C is the correct choice. Improving access to finance for MSMEs and startups. Which entities have joined the hands for this initiative? For strengthening the credit delivery, streamlining the co-lending. Two major financial institutions, they have recently collaborated. The name of the financial institutions here are SIDBI and Bank of Baroda, right? Acha, tell me the turnover or the turnover threshold being considered for exemption from statutory audit can be important, right? As of now, the government is considering removing the compliance burden of statutory audit on micro enterprises. So what is the threshold which they are considering as of now? That's 1 crore, okay, and this can be important, 1 crore. So MCA may exempt firms up to 1 crore turnover from the statutory audit requirement. We have also covered this one. As of now, all the companies, every company registered under the Companies Act have to follow the rules of statutory audit. They need to compulsorily get their books of accounts audited by a chartered accountant. And what was the CD ratio, credit deposit ratio for the commercial banks as of the fortnight ended on 31st October 2025? Again important. That's option C, 80.21%, right? 80.21%, जो कि काफी high level पे है. Tell me this one. To reduce the compliance load for smaller related party transaction, SEBI has allowed a simplified disclosure, but you should be having a limit. What should be the limit trigger for simplified disclosure requirement? Limit trigger for simplified disclosure requirement. The limit trigger will be 1% of the turnover or 10 crore, right? 1% of the turnover or 10 crore rupee is the limit. That's what we have covered in the materiality threshold related to the related party transaction. And now tell me, according to PMAC, individuals with less than 15% stake but exercising, what can still classify them as promoter in case of promoter identification for IPO bound companies? This is also a rule which is under consideration. It is not finalized as of now. It is still under consideration, right? The correct answer is significant influence, right? Base year for CPI, the base year of CPI is 2024. Okay, so acha, tell me the non-IT services growth rate as per the recent data which was released by Reserve Bank of India for Q2 of financial year 2026. I am talking about the sales growth rate. Here I am talking about the sales growth rate. The number was 10.6%, right? Option A is the correct choice. And last question, the base year of IIP is again the same जो base year आपका GDP का था 2023, right? So guys, we have covered close to 100 questions. So हमारा नवंबर का फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स पूरा कंक्लूड हो चुका है. अगर आप सिर्फ क्वेश्चंस भी देख लेते हो तो आपका ऑलमोस्ट ये सारा न्यूज़ कवर होने वाला है रिलेटेड टू नवंबर फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स. And those who are giving the examination in 2026, this is a batch you can later on check out this batch, the course highlights and all. Explore more benefits by clicking on the link which is there in the description section, right? So thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.